Man, what's good, YouTube? Today I'm back with another video. This video is going to be about top 5 tips that can really improve your Roblox building and your games. So don't need to say too much, but let's go ahead and get started into this. Tip number 1. Use no lower than 0.1 increments on a regular scale when you're scaling and moving objects and parts. If you need to use 0.05 or 0.025, then you can. I really wouldn't recommend it if you want to avoid having those little like gaps inside your buildings. It's easy to avoid it with 0.1 increments. And if you use anything lower than that, this should be for very small details, like maybe a window detail, a little detail on the wall to make it look better, you know? But overall, I say just use no lower than 0.1 unless you really have to. Tip number 2, use the folders in Explorer to stay organized. Oh my gosh, this is gonna help a lot. It helps a lot to be organized, and it may be time consuming, but if you make a mistake or need to go back and check on a building in the future, it's gonna be way easier to access if you're organized and you use folders. Tip number 3. This kind of relates to tip number 2 a little bit. You need to name your buildings and your parts. Yes, put a name on your building and parts. And I know it seems like a hassle, but trust me, you're not gonna regret it at all. Because let's say, for example, if you name your part, let's say brick, and when it's time you finish a building, like a really big building, and decide you want to change the color of the bricks on it, because let's say the building was made out of bricks, or you want to make all the bricks a union, or delete all the bricks, or even retexture all the bricks, you get the idea. It's going to be a lot easier to find all the bricks, to select all of them, rather than if they're all named part, because like when you make a part that's a name, you're looking through the building and selecting all of them individually. Like if you have a lot of bricks, you're not using the negation tool and you individually make each part, then it's going to be it's going to take a lot of time. So this is really going to help you save a whole lot of time. And I know it sounds like a lot. You're naming the bricks, putting the name on it. If you have a part named brick in the beginning and you just duplicate it, then you really don't have to. You just have to name it one time in the beginning and you're good. Tip number 4. When you're making a map, build all the common builds first. And what I mean by common builds, I mean stuff like doors, windows, door handles, interior stuff. And that's just an example because I'm making a city game, so that's why I built different variations of all those doors, windows, door handles, and all that. Tip number 5, avoid using different textures if your game is one poly. Now, what I mean by that, for example, if you're making a low poly city map, avoid using highly textured meshes and making highly textured builds with all these decals and all that, because you don't want to have a building that's low poly with not that many textures on it right next to a mesh in a building that's imported from GTA. It just doesn't look good. And that's just a little example. I mean, there's so many examples. There's a lot of games that do this, and it makes them not look good, because the map looks, I'm not saying not organized, but it doesn't look clean. If that makes sense. Like one side of the map is all low poly and the other side of the map, because if you do this, it makes the map look really messy. And I understand a bunch of people have different building styles, and if that's your building style and you can make it look good, then go ahead. But most people can't make it look good, and I'm just being honest with you. And that's it. So I really hope that this video about these 5 tips really helped you, save time. I made the video pretty short. These tips will help you save time in Roblox Studio for sure. And I know it's Friday. I was supposed to post yesterday, which was Thursday, but I didn't. So because of that, I'll drop 3 videos next week to make it up to y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Comment if you need to. If you have any questions, go ahead and join my Discord server. Trying to get it active again. And yep, that's it. Peace.